I have no business with you.
Get out of my sight. Slave. Damn it, Fawn, couldn't you have faked something? But the map. The map. Lord Zash is adamant she will not take an apprentice without the map. The map. And the Dashard. Get that monster out of here this instant. And give me the map.
Fawn, patience. You will have your chance at this whelp after you personally deliver this map to Lord Zash. Protest all you want, slave. You'll die the same. Hurry, Fawn.
This is not the end. Without Lord Zash to save you, you're nothing. I have connections that will hunt you wherever you go. Get out of my sight, slave. Your new master is waiting for you upstairs. Your trial is in the tomb of Naga Sado. Get the map, or don't come back.
Well, well. Look who shows up at long last. I half expected to hear you'd crossed some Dark Lord upstairs and finally got yourself killed. None of the others have shown up either. I assume they're dead by now, which means you and Fawn are the last ones. You only wish it, slave. No. You took so long returning, I sent Fawn ahead. Wrong. Your final trial will be to retrieve an ancient map from the innermost chamber of Naga Sado's tomb, which has never been breached in thousands of years. But before you get the map, you'll have to awaken an ancient assassin called a Dashard that sleeps in the tomb. You cannot access the map without him. Understand? They're a lost race of assassins that the ancient Sith used to devour their Force-using enemies. This one'll probably eat you the moment he's freed. Lord Zash wants it. Oh, and one more thing. You'll be competing with Fawn for this map. Whoever brings it back will be Lord Zash's apprentice. The other will die. And Fawn's already started, so my advice? Run, slave. Run. Lord Zash! What are you doing here? No, of course not. Lord Zash. He finished his trial early, so I sent him on rather than keeping him waiting for this. It's too late. Fawn's already left. You can't just... Yes. Perhaps. Very dangerous indeed. You can't really mean to let this filthy slave take control of a monster like the Dashard? Yes, Lord Zash. Shut up, slave. If you know what's good for you, you won't come back from that tomb. And if you do, mark my words, you'll wish the Dashard had eaten you alive. So go ahead. Bring me the map. If you dare. I don't want to see you until you've been to the training grounds. Second floor, slave. I was just about to send Fawn off. What delayed you, slave? Just like a slave to make up stories. Lord Zash would crush you like a gizka if you ever crossed her path. You're not worthy of her presence. You'll be smelling your own blood soon. Now, did you collect the text from Tulak Horde's tomb? Give it here. No doubt it's been badly damaged. It's what we get for sending a careless lowlife to do a Sith job. Isn't that right, Fawn? You have a big mouth, slave, but no combat skills. I don't want to see you again until you've satisfied the Korriban instructors. The training facility is on the second floor of the academy and is usually reserved for the Dark Lords and their apprentices. This is not a promotion, and you are not to speak to anyone except the training master when you are up there, understand? You are not fit for their presence. Do not press your luck, slave. I could just let Fawn tear you to pieces. Fawn has been training at combat his whole life. He was born to be Sith. You are just as likely to chop your own arm off as not, slave. Now get going to the second floor training grounds. You don't want to keep the instructors waiting. Bring the text from Tulak Horde's tomb, or don't come back. You better not be wasting my time, slave. You better have the holocron. A fake. Or stolen from the library, probably. I'll deal with you later. Now, I believe it's time for another demonstration. Grr, step forward. Fawn, kill him. No, Fawn. These weaklings are not worth your energy. Don't worry, their demise is inevitable. Let Grr be an example to you. Fawn destroyed him easily, like he will destroy all of you. Are there any other objections? And your comments are only hastening your death, slave. Then be quiet. I am Sith. Something you will never be. Now the rest of you know the next trial. Go. You, slave, stay here. Now, slave,
You think yourself pretty clever getting that holocron, don't you? You are lucky Lord Zash finds you useful. If you wish to prolong your life, you will not make demands of me again, slave. Now for your trial. The last, darkest secrets of Tulak Horde are buried in his tomb. Lord Zash wants this text, but the final resting place of the dead lord is not easily trespassed. You will not be the first to die there. Lord Zash's research is her own business, and no one else's. You're not fit to know. Any other stupid questions? You are begging for death, slave. Now get going. Shut up, slave. I've had about enough of your mockery. Do not come back here until you've gotten the text from Tulak Horde's tomb. Out of my sight, slave. Bring me the holocron, or don't bother coming back, slave. Well, well, well. I had been looking forward to cutting another one of you down, but it looks like I'll be spared the trouble. Unsurprisingly, Nylock has gone missing. Also, unsurprisingly, Fon has passed his first trial. It's only a matter of time before he tramples you all underfoot. Patience, Fon. An accident in the tombs is much more convincing. Now the lot of you know your next task. Go. I want to speak to Fon and our latecomer. Now, slave. Zin says you handled yourself expertly, and as much as I find this difficult to believe, Lord Zash is satisfied with his evaluation. Undoubtedly, Zin helped you in some way. But you will not have his help on the next trial. Both you and Fon will have trials of intellect, trials that test your ability to apply your understanding of the Force to solve problems. Calm down, Fon. I certainly do not expect this slave to be a match for you. That's why you will have separate trials. You're only digging your own grave. Fon, you will go to the library on the second floor of the Academy and translate the following texts for Lord Zash. Slave. Deep in the ancient, monster-infested tomb of Marka Ragnos, there is a holocron filled with dark secrets and encased in a great stone monument. No one has figured out how to release the holocron from its stone prison in over 1,000 years. You will bring this holocron to me, or you will die. You will never be strong enough, slave. You have no idea what awaits you, slave. Spoken like the idiot you are. Marka Ragnos's final resting place is in the Valley of the Dark Lords. You will bring back the holocron, or hope that the spirit of Marka Ragnos himself returns to end your miserable existence. Now go. Your business is with Zin in the jails, slave. Ah, the last one. Always the latecomer. Now we can see what the hermit thinks of you, slime. Acolyte Corey. Step forward, please. You are a weak, pathetic rodent, and even a lunatic like Spindrel can see this. And that means yes. And let it be an example to you, filth. Now, anyone else have any objections? Good. You've just marked yourself, fool. You're next. You may think yourself strong, but you're not. Meet our newcomer, Fon Alt. This is real Sith strength, and he will tear you apart and crush your bones, slaves. Fon comes from a very respected Sith family, one that has been among the ruling class for generations. Look long and hard. This is what a real Sith looks like. Calm down, Fon. They aren't worth your trouble. Fon's family was wiped out in the feuding on the imperial capital world of Dromont Kaas, and he was thrown into the slave shipment. Fortunately, I found him. Look on him. No connections left in the world, but pure Sith blood. This is Lord Zash's future apprentice, not filth like you. Step this way, slave. I want to speak to you privately. The rest of you get out of here. You know your trials. You too, Fon. Spindrel awaits. Now, listen to me. Spindrel is a lunatic. His approval means nothing. You are filth, and you will die. Is that clear? Good. You're nothing, and don't forget it. Shut your mouth, wretch. Don't come back here until you've met the hermit Spindrel. Ah, the last one to arrive is finally here. I hope you don't think you're special. It would be a shame if freedom went to your head.
Or if you somehow got the idea, you didn't need to pass your trials to become Sith. Lord Zash has tasked me with sorting through you refuse to find one worthy of being her apprentice, and I intend to do just that. We'll just see about that. That's Lord Zash to you, slave. She's a Dark Lord of the Sith and more important than you'll ever be. I won't. Now the rest of you gutter trash already know your trial. Get going while I bring our latecomer up to speed. Now, slave, for your trial. There's a hermit named Spindrol who lives in the tomb of Ajunta Paul in the Valley of the Dark Lords. The valley is a vast, sandy plain that opens into cavernous tombs, labyrinths of darkness built to house ancient, powerful Sith. Many have died simply entering the tombs. Others have gone raving mad. But that's where Spindrol lives. You will go to him or die trying, you think. It's not what I want, slave. It's what Lord Zash wants. Spindrol's a lunatic, but Lord Zash sees him as some kind of prophet. Once you find him, he will test you. Oh, what I wouldn't give to see you face the claw slugs in the tomb. Horrible pincers. Gigantic maws. You're no match, slave. But there, you know your task. Spindrol lives in the tomb of Ajunta Paul in the Valley of the Dark Lords. Your task isn't done until you have Spindrol's approval. Or you're in a claw slug's belly. Don't keep Spindrol waiting, slave. Now, your second trial. Lord Zash has requested a special trial for you, which you will no doubt fail. Go to Inquisitor Zin in the jails. He will fill you in on the details. And, most likely, hasten your demise. Don't boast, slave. I don't want to see you again until you're back from the jails. That's all. Enough of this foolishness. Leave. Now! It's a shame the tomb didn't kill you. What? Well, I guess it is an overseer's job to inspire his charges. Now get going, slave. I mean, apprentice. Give it here. No doubt it's been badly damaged. It's what we get for sending a worthless alien to do a Sith's job. Isn't that right, Fawn? You are the slime, the filth, the wretches of society. You are what Sith Lords scrape off their boots. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to crawl out of that muck and make something of yourselves. More likely, you'll die. It's my job to see that it's one or the other. I don't know why the Sith Empire even bothers with you, miserable curs. They'd be wiser to give you shovels and have you dig your own graves. Well, well, my lord. I certainly never expected to see you again, my lord. You clean up well. Yes, these are the acolytes. A worse bunch than yours, if you ask me. My lord, it's always a pleasure to see you. Are you here for an apprentice, or were you just feeling nostalgic? Apologies, my lord, I didn't notice you there. I was just preparing these new slaves for their imminent death. Yes, I'd heard about that. They were incompetents anyway. Not that this group looks much better. Good times, yes. Still as prickly and arrogant as ever, eh, slave? I mean, my lord. Thanaton had the sense to pass up this cancerous lot, so they're yours if you want them. This worm is Sepphoris. They found him in a Hutt's palace, crushing prisoners' heads for the Hutt's entertainment. Shut up, slave. You don't talk directly to a Lord of the Sith unless he asks it. Shut up, slave. You don't talk directly to a Lord of the Sith unless she asks it. This beady-eyed monstrosity is Argog. Don't know where on a Cathhound's backside he's supposed to come from. Sorry, what was that? Can't understand a word it says. This gangly creature is Jackson. He's no Sith, but he's at least human. This gangly creature is Jackson. He's no Sith, but he's at least human. No offense. And this bone-faced one, well, I can't pronounce whatever gibberish he says he's called. We call him Zalek. Don't let him fool you. Too wild for his own good. There were 2 others, but we made the mistake of leaving them alone with Zalek. You may check back as you please. I don't expect it to take too long to chew through this bunch, and look how you turned out. Murdered your master. Be careful what you wish for. No one's ever had trouble from me they didn't deserve, my lord. What are you staring at, wretches? You know your trial. Now go! My credits are on the 3-eyed one, personally. These wretches can get themselves killed without my help. May I present to you your apprentice? Boneface. So you're not dead, then, my lord? Your slaves are about to finish their final trial. You might want to be present for this. You're welcome.
This should be very interesting. Naturally, I will wait. I will try to wait until you arrive.
Quiet, both of you. You know your trial. Now go.
I didn't know you were the gambling type, my lord. I'll contact you when they are on their last trial so that you can arrive in time for the results. You know, I'm starting to enjoy working with these misshapen freaks. At least it's never boring. I would have preferred to see the human prevail, but you can only ask so much. My lord, you are just in time. The acolytes should be returning shortly. Unfortunately, my three-eyed one is out, but your acolyte is still in the running. The Twi'lek has undeniable aptitude, but he's wildly out of control. Too much of an animal. But then, what do you expect? There's something vaguely unsettling about Boneface. He's hardly said a word, but he's got a determined glint in his eye. Reminds me of you. Ah, there you are. My lord, it looks as if you were right. Ah, there you are. My lord, it looks as if we were both wrong. Slave scum! Did you not listen to the rules of this academy? You do not murder another acolyte, and in the presence of witnesses. I'm sorry, my lord. It seems I've failed to teach this miserable dog a single lesson. I will let you know when a new shipment of slaves arrives. He murdered an acolyte in the academy walls, in the presence of an overseer and a lord of the Sith. To top it off, he's a slave. Sith tradition demands he be executed. I'm only telling the truth. I put up with a lot around here, training low slaves into Sith Lords. But if the rules of subterfuge and skill give way to blind murder, then the whole Empire is doomed. Congratulations, Zalek. Improbably, you have earned the right to become Sith. Take my lightsaber. Zalek completed his trials fairly. I will give him my lightsaber. Thanaton will hear of this, I promise you. No, my lord. But Thanaton will hear of this. No, it definitely got a lot more interesting. Where is your carving, Boneface? There was only one carving. I'm interested in what Boneface here hopes to prove. While you're here, is there anything particular you want to accomplish with these trials? Many Sith Lords use the acolytes to gather things from the tombs for them. I think I know something. When have I ever tolerated weakness, my lord? You just missed the latest trial. As you can see, we have a wild group. All except the human. He was surprisingly quick to die. He certainly had promise. Uglier than my twisted Sith grandmother, but he has the same determined glint you had. Uglier than my twisted Sith grandmother, but he has a vicious streak uncommon in slaves. You have come a long way, my lord.